What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. This is your review for the 2024 edition of SummerSlam. I was going to do this last night. However, we had people working on the roof of the house all day, so I ended up having a migraine, so I didn't get to do any of the review that I wanted to do. So I decided, I was debating whether or not today, if I was going to do just a solo SummerSlam review, or do it as part of the Pile Driver Pulse. So I decided, no Pile Driver Pulse this weekend. It's going to be the SummerSlam review. A lot of things happened on this show. 4 title changes. One I was sort of expecting to happen, but wasn't my prediction. And some other things happened here. And we had the first singles televised match for CM Punk for WWE in over 10 years. The first televised singles match since All in London. We also had the return of Roman Reigns that took place on this show as well. The expected return of Roman Reigns and a lot of other stuff as well, including the betrayals. Judgment Day implodes, basically. We're going to talk about that much, much more. Please hit the like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button, youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Follow the social media, Spy Driver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, audio outlets, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Pandora, and Amazon Music. The SummerSlam it's in the books here. I enjoyed this show a lot more than I did last year's show. Other than like a few things from last year's show that I enjoyed, which was like if we compare to last year's show, I made my most of it, not honest opinion, my feelings on SummerSlam last year, very, very clear. The things I enjoyed of last year's SummerSlam, I enjoyed Cody Brock. That was great. LA Knight winning the Battle Royal. Meaningless Battle Royal was, something. Ronda and Shayna fucking sucked. Drew McIntyre and Gunther was fine. Rollins and Balor was awesome. Io cashing in was great. I thought the triple threat match before that was a little boring. And Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso was one of the most boring, worst SummerSlam main events in the history of SummerSlam. Same thing happened this last night as well, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Cleveland, Ohio, the attendance of, according to WWE, this might be legit because, they've been doing a lot of selling out lately. That being the 57,791 is what they claimed. This is probably what's going to be true here. Cleveland Browns Stadium. Cleveland brought it, though, this week. I'll give it that. Cleveland brought it last night for SummerSlam. They were outside of the first 15 minutes of the main event. They were hot through the entire show. So we started off with the Women's World Champion. Well, first we start off with a performance from Jelly Roll. He did the national anthem, not the national anthem. It was either I think it was his national anthem or America's Beautiful. I think I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me see here. Let me look here. Let me look. I think he started off with Jelly Roll as doing the. I could have sworn it was America Beautiful. Yeah, no, God Bless America. And then he did the theme song, which is from the new Twisters movie, which I haven't seen, the song Liar. So there's that. Triple H came out and welcomed everybody to SummerSlam. The Miz then appeared to the crowd to welcome fans to SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley comes out with Dominic Mysterio for her World Championship match against Liv Morgan. And I have to say, this was, in my opinion, whether people will admit it or not. I know Liv Morgan fans won't admit this because they're too fucking blind. This, to me, was Liv Morgan's best match since winning the championship. This is also her best match since day one, 2 years ago, against Becky Lynch. I hate this. I mean, the match with her at King and Queen of the Ring was fine. It was good, but it wasn't as good as their first match and all that stuff. So the story going into this match was basically the whole thing with Dominic Mysterio here. Rhea, also the story of this match was the how 100% is the shoulder going into this match. Rhea hits 3 clotheslines onto Liv Morgan with followed up with a full Nelson suplex. Liv goes out of the ring. She follows her. High fives Dominic. Rhea, and then becomes affectionate with Dominic, sends Morgan repeatedly crashing into the barricade, then delivers some chops to her, sends her face, first bouncing off the ring steps. She gets Morgan back inside the ring, then connects a few headbutts, delivers Riptide on her in the corner. Kind of basically tried to do the same, the finish from WrestleMania with Becky Lynch. Tries to hit the second Riptide to go for the pinfall. Morgan escapes. Rhea crashes hard into the turnbuckle. That's where the whole thing with the shoulder come into play. Rhea says she popped out. Rhea slides outside the ring to recover and regroups with Dominic. Liv surprises her with drop kicking her basically into steps. Gets her back into the ring, goes for the pin. Rhea kicks out. Then Morgan continues to wear down on her shoulder. Rhea hits a boot on Morgan. Slides out of the ring to recuperate with Dominic out there. Morgan looks surprised. Surprised Rhea with a tope suicida. Dominic pushes Rhea out of the way. He takes the move instead. The pair get back inside the ring. Rhea lands a boot onto Liv Morgan's jaw, then drops her into the corner. Morgan crashing into the mat face first. Then goes for the pin. Liv kicks out. Rhea sets up the Riptide, but Morgan can counters with a beautiful DDT that was sold beautifully by Rhea Ripley. Rhea kicked out. Morgan ascends to the top rope. Rhea pulls her down, punching, puts her in the prism trap. Morgan sends Rhea crashing into the corner, shoulder first. Then it's a crucifix bomb for the pin. Rhea kicks out. Morgan locks in a cross arm breaker. Rhea prevents her from doing the hold. She makes it to her feet, delivers a power bomb to Morgan, goes for the pin. Morgan kicks out. Rhea then sends Liv crashing into the outside the ring. Morgan grabs a chair from the Timekeeper's area. At one point, by the way, Rhea is popping her shoulder back into socket. She did it right into the announce table, then did it again into the turnbuckle. So that's something that she was doing here. Rhea orders Liv to dispose of the chair. She orders Liv to dispose of the chair. Rhea tries again, like I said, feeling back in her shoulder by popping it into the turnbuckle. Rhea knocks the chair out of Morgan's hand, hits another Riptide, then grabs the chair, looks to use it. Dominic takes it from her and tells her, basically he's like, you can't win the match that way, right? You're disqualified. You can't win the championship that way. But he's like, you're right. And hits an oblivion and got a beautiful near fall that almost everyone in that stadium, including me, bought. And it was beautifully timed there. Dominic slides the chair back into the ring to distract the referee. Liv Morgan takes advantage, hits the second Oblivion on the top of the chair, which Rhea sold beautifully, and got the win and retained the Women's World Championship. After the match, Dominic picked up Liv Morgan and started locking some lips, some French kissing going on, with a pissed off, heartbroken Rhea Ripley watches on, and Michael Cole had one of the best lines of the night, saying, "Dominic, you two-timing, backstabbing son of a bitch." Oh, that was a great line. And then Pat McAfee tried to be like, he's a piece of, and you know, Cole was like, he might as well just say it, because that's exactly what it is. You piece of shit. It was great. Oh, I love it. There is some news there on Pat McAfee, kind of. I want to talk about after I get through the show here. But yeah, I thought this was the best match Liv Morgan has had since winning the championship. And she hasn't really defended it much, by the way. But this feud's gonna go all the way to Bad Blood. I don't know what they're gonna do for their blow off match, but I think Rhea Ripley is winning that championship back. But this is great. Rhea looked fine. I thought this was a really, really good match. I give this match a good solid 4.5. Not quite 5, but I give it a good 4.5 out of 5 here for the opening match for the Women's World Championship here. It was not the end of Judgment Day drama that we saw, so we'll go to the back here. Damian Priest is fucking pissed. He's like looking for Dominic. He says, "I'm gonna kill that kid." He asked Balor. He grabbed Balor by the shirt and says, "Did you know anything about this?" Answer the question. And Balor's like, "No, man, I didn't know anything about this." Balor's like, you know, me, JD, and Carlita are going to try to look for him. So I wish they had done another segment like that where they had Priest, JD, and Carlo actually go look for Dominic, which was to have added into some little bit of stuff there. But it wasn't the end of the Judgment Day Clubhouse segments, because we saw that a little bit later on here. Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship. This is a rematch from Money in the Bank. This match was not the long banger that you were expecting that we saw at Money in the Bank. This was basically Bron Breakker murdering poor Sami Zayn here. This was basically, you know, like a so I'm just going to go to the end here. Sami Zayn hits a blue thunder bomb, goes to the pin, but Breakker kicks out. Breakker then hits a jumping knee onto Sami. By the way, he did a beautiful Frankensteiner from the top rope, which I thought was pretty cool. Breakker then does the jumping knee onto Sami. Sami responds with an exploder. Slides up the hoover kick, and Breakker catches him with the spear. Then runs off the rope, hits him for a second one. And Bron Breakker is your new Intercontinental Champion. This was done. I thought this was done finally. The match itself was okay. Wasn't like, you know, blow away, but it did its purpose here, and that was to show that Bron Breakker is a monster, and you need to take him seriously. So to all the people that said he was buried at Money in the Bank, none of y'all people showed up last night at all. Just saying. Stephanie McMahon was shown on commentary on camera, enjoying herself here. Stephanie McMahon was a little bit in the news a little bit later on, involving one CM Punk. We'll get to CM Punk in this match in a little bit. Logan Paul defending the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship against Logan Paul. Despite my feelings on Logan Paul, this match was actually really good. But you know, I'm kind of over the same spot with Logan Paul, which is the brass knuckle spot. Kind of over that here, but Logan Paul at one point ascends to the top rope to So this part, before this match even started, Logan Paul started beating up LA Knight on the outside. They started going at it here, and I thought they were going to do the whole thing this here, and then the bell rings, and Logan Paul's going to lose. That's not what they did here, but then later on, we had Logan Paul hit a beautiful springboard, like moonsault off the top rope. I was not expecting that from Logan Paul, but it was great. It was a great spot, nonetheless. Excuse me. Let me get more sip of my drink here. So then Logan Paul ascends to the top rope, looks to land for the frog splash. LA Knight avoids it, looks to hit the BFT. Paul moves out of the way. LA Knight is sent crashing into the mat face first. They keep going back and forth here. Logan Paul then rakes the eyes of the referee, of LA Knight, while the referee isn't looking. Calls for the brass knuckles, which for some reason Machine Gun Kelly was out there. That was random. He hits him with the brass knucks, but doesn't get all of it. LA Knight kicks out. He goes for his version of the buckshot lariat. And LA Knight reverses it, hits the BFT, and is your new United States champion, LA Knight. Thank God. Thank the Lord. And what this did here was, this is now the first time in a long time that all the champions on the main roster are full-time champions. So there's no part-time champions in WWE anymore. You love to see it. I give this one also 4.5 out of 5. The match was really good. Logan Paul matches tend to be really good somehow. I don't know how. I just don't like the kid personally, but outside of that, great match. LA Knight absolutely finally. I heard Michael Cole say he finally wins his first. I'm pretty sure they acknowledge that the $1 million title now was, in fact, sanctioned this time when he won it. Anyways, Bayley versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. Obviously, Nia Jax got this match when she won the Queen of the Ring. Match was all right. A lot of callbacks to their NXT TakeOver London match. But so at this point, right? At this point, I was what? Well, we were in 3 matches in. I was at that point 3-7. So if you remember on my final predictions for SummerSlam on the SmackDown review, I had Bayley retaining here. That didn't happen here. So my scenario was Bayley was going to win. And then post-match was going to get beat down by Nia Jax, and that's when Tiffany Stratton was going to come in and cash in. They didn't do that. So while Bayley, who at one point hit an impressive-looking fucking power bomb on this woman, I still can't believe she was able to hold her up like that. Hit the Randy Savage elbow drop for the pin. Jax was able to kick out here. Tiffany Stratton comes out. For some reason, has her own referee, even though there's a referee already in the ring for the match. That was kind of stupid. Bayley clocks her on the apron. And pins Nia Jax, which is weird, but Nia Jax was able to kick out again. Bayley rocks Nia Jax to her knee, hits a I don't know, like some type of kick or something. But Nia hits a pair of power bombs, hits 2 annihilators, and is your new WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton did not attempt to cash in after the match, which is very surprising. But I guess they're gonna stretch that out a little bit here. This match was fine. I give this a 3-star match here, 3 out of 5. My first prediction got wrong here, but it wasn't bad though. Next up, which is a match I still can't believe I'm about to review here. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins as special referee. CM Punk's first WWE singles pay-per-view match since Battleground 2013, where I think he beat Ryback. This is his first pay-per-view singles match ever since All In, where he beat Samoa Joe. This is his first televised singles match in WWE since the match in 2014 against Billy Gunn. Even though his first actual singles match in WWE was with Dominic Mysterio back in December. And this is his first match back since his injury at the Royal Rumble. This match I enjoyed this match. A lot of people didn't. People don't understand wrestling, apparently. I really enjoyed this match. CM Punk's not washed. To all the fuck... Woo! Excuse me. To all the people who mostly CM Punk said it right, like, he's not wrong here. The CM Punk's biggest fans are actually his haters. Because you're still watching his promos, his segments, his matches. So he's not washed. I think Punk did fine. I did love the SummerSlam 2013. No, was it 2013 and 2012? No, it was 2012. 2013 is that match with Brock Lesnar. He at SummerSlam 20. I think was this the same gear that he had? Find out. Was this the same gear? Yes, it was. It was the same gear, kind of. It was sort of the same gear, kind of was, but also wasn't. I mean, the one he wore was pink tights with the black stuff on it. This, I think. Maybe look. I think this was supposed to be more of a homage to Bret Hart's SummerSlam gear that year. Yes, it was. It was an homage to the Bret Hart SummerSlam gear. That's actually a good shout here. They did do the SummerSlam spot from '97. They did it very early on in the match. So at some point, Punk. So they went at it here. Drew goes out to the ring and gets a steel chair. He's getting ready to hit Punk with it. And Rollins grabs the chair. They start going back and forth about it. Drew shoves shoves Rollins. Rollins is going to hit Drew with the chair. Drew ducks, and he almost hits Punk with the chair. They almost did the spot from '97. But I said they were going to somehow do the spot here because in this situation here, CM Punk is not playing the Bret Hart part of this match. He is playing the Undertaker part of this match, kind of. But Rollins stops himself. He tosses the chair out of the ring. Rollins disposes of the chair, like I said. While he's doing that, Punk rolls McIntyre up. Rollins misses the fall. McIntyre kicks out. McIntyre then delivers a neck breaker. Places Punk's bracelet on that he's having on his wrist. Sets up with the Claymore. Punk intercepts with one of his patented Punk kicks. Twisting neck breaker, goes for the running knee that he does. Delivers the clothesline. Does the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow after blowing a kiss to Rollins. Goes for the pin. Rollins counts the fall after a second. McIntyre kicks out. Punk puts McIntyre in the Anaconda Vice. And as soon as he locks in, he notices the brace on McIntyre's arm, forcing him to break the hold. Turns around into a Claymore from Drew McIntyre. Once he started messing with the bracelet, it was over for CM Punk. McIntyre pins him. Punk kicks out. It was a great near fall, is what that was. McIntyre snares out Rollins, sets up for a future shock DDT, the same move that injured CM Punk at the Royal Rumble. Punk escapes. And McIntyre is sent crashing into the ring into the post shoulder first. Punk calls for the GTS. Once again, is distracted by Rollins, who is just doing his job as the referee, picking the bracelet up off the ground and getting it out of the way. So it's not a distraction of the match. It's on his wrist. Punk is like, "Are you fucking with me?" Rollins is like, "No, I picked it up off the ground to get it out of the way." And Punk is again like, he's like, mouthing off, right? McIntyre blocks Punk from behind, which then takes Rollins out of the ring. McIntyre sets up for the Future Shock DDT. Punk escapes. Finally hits the go to sleep. Punk goes with the pin. No one's there to hit the fall. Rollins then slides into the ring, begins the count. McIntyre kicks out. I can't remember if it was a 1 count or 2 count. Punk is at this point pissed off. Gets in Rollins' face. He's like, again, "Are you screwing with me?" Rollins fights back and berates Punk, basically doing the same thing that Hangman Page did in that promo, right? The only difference here is they're all in on it. They are all on the same page. He takes his bracelet back, puts it on his wrist. McIntyre, by the way, who gets to go sleep onto Rollins and McIntyre. Punk is like, "It's never about me. It's not always about me, but it's never about you," is what he said. He goes over to McIntyre. McIntyre low blows him, which is a callback to what Punk did in Scotland at Clash of the Castle that cost him the World Heavyweight Championship. Delivers the Claymore kick to him. Rollins reluctantly counts the 3, and Drew McIntyre wins the match. This is sort of kind of like the same way, in a way, but the 3 count was exactly the same as it was with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels reluctantly counted the 3, but in this situation, Punk screwed Punk. After the match, McIntyre puts the bracelet back on him, kisses it, and he stands on his own feet here. So I enjoyed this match. Right? Was it the violent match that we were expecting? No, I think they're saving that for Bad Blood. You don't give that all away in this match here. They all did their part here. The bracelet was a integral part of this storyline. Now the question is what they do on Raw. We're gonna find out what's next for this program. They could be they may just do Punk and Drew inside Hell in a Cell, but I think they're gonna actually do the first ever triple threat match inside Hell in a Cell. That's what I'm thinking now. But yeah, what I thought story wise, 5 out of 5. Match wise, good 4.5. Because again, Punk is not washed. Punk actually did held up in this match here. He escaped unharmed, and nobody got into a fight after this match. Gee, I wonder why. He's not working with fucking children in 2024. So there's that. After this match, we have the final Judgment Day segment backstage, where Priest is getting ready for his match with Gunther. Finn and Priest apologize to one another after their heated confrontation earlier in the night. Balor tells Priest that he's there at ringside if Priest ever changes his mind. And then we got Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of people like this match. I didn't. Okay, all right. I'm not giving it the amount of praise that everybody else is getting. I didn't hate the match. I just didn't really care for it, if this makes sense, right? So Was this Priest's best title match that he has since winning the title? Yeah, I would say so, yes. But was it, a match of the year contender or a match of the night contender? In my opinion, no. So, what we're going to really talk about here is the ending of the match here. So, Priest is doing his thing here. Priest tells Gunther to bring it on, whatever they're doing here. Finn Balor appears at ringside to hype up Damian Priest as Gunther continues wearing him down. Priest lays a couple right hands, but Gunther levels him, lands the boot onto Priest's midsection. Gunther connects with a big boot onto Finn Balor on the outside, and Priest becomes fired up, runs over Gunther with a pair of clotheslines and delivers the Razor's Edge to him, follows it up with a South of Heaven for the pin. Balor places Gunther's foot on the bottom rope here. Priest sees what happens during the replay on one of the screens in the stadium. Balor turns around with the sinister look on his face here. Priest looks to go after him. Gunther stops him by putting him in a sleeper hold. Priest counters, goes for a pin, escape. Gunther kicks out. Priest goes after Finn Balor again, but Gunther intercepts him with a power button, blocks him the sleeper hold, and Finn Balor and Damian Priest didn't tap. He passes out, and Gunther is your new World Heavyweight Champion. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have done this spot a little bit differently. This was the other match I got wrong. Up until, and I said this on Monday, and I said this on Friday. Up until 3 weeks ago, I had Gunther winning this match 100%. And then they got real with Damian Priest, and I said, well, that would be weird if they did all of this shit talking to Damian Priest for Priest to lose this match. I really have no interest in seeing Finn Balor versus Damian Priest without something that's on the line. Sure, Priest is going to go after Balor because he cost him the world title. That is the most logical babyface thing to do. Or heel thing, whatever one it is. But what does Finn Balor get out of this? If he wants the World Heavyweight Championship, he's not going to be able to get it because the person who had it doesn't have it anymore. Now, they might do a three-way at Bash in Berlin. I don't know what the plan is. See, just my other thing is, what do you do with Gunther now after he wins the championship? To me, I think the money was with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest with the world title. Now, I don't know what they do with the world title with Gunther on the roster. Well, let's look at the Raw roster right now. Right? I mean, they could always go with Sami Zayn. They may do that. Sami Zayn might be busy with the bloodline here. So you have Gunther. You have CM Punk there. You have Seth Rollins, right? You have Drew McIntyre. You could always do the rematch with Damian Priest. There's Finn Balor there with the triple threat there. You have Ilya Dragunov, but I think Ilya Dragunov's going to be doing something with Bron Breakker. You saved the Ilya Dragunov thing for like a WrestleMania or something. You could do Pete Dunne. You could do Sheamus. I mean, maybe there is some things there, but I don't know. I have no interest in Jey Uso in the world title picture. So we'll see. But yeah, the match was fine. The match wasn't bad. It just didn't do it for me. Maybe because I was just more interested in seeing Balor, Rollins and Gunther than I was Priest and Gunther. Happy that Gunther's the world champion. I just would have done it differently. That's just me. I give this match a good. I'll give it a 4.5. Not quite a 4, mainly because this is just my personal opinion. If you love the match, that's all well and good. Just didn't do it for me. Isn't our truth that there's stick with jelly roll and shit? Who cares? Then we got the main event here. Solo Sikoa, Cody Rhodes, Bloodline rules for the WWE Championship. We see the return of armed Arn Anderson, who was that gorilla position. He said some things, and very conveniently placed SUVs in the back. I'm gonna be honest with you. Up until the Gorillas of Destiny coming out, this match was fucking boring. Oh my god! I was just waiting for this match to be over here. So I'm just going to go straight to the Gorillas of Destiny showing up. Because the Gorillas of Destiny come in after Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads. I think it might have been a crossroads. I don't know. He did. They start bringing down. Out comes Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to take out the GOD. They did call them the Gorillas of Destiny on commentary, which again, New Japan doesn't own that name. They could totally use that name if they wanted to. No one in New Japan is using it anymore. So, while this is going on, then we see Jacob Fatu. He finally shows his face, hits a Whispers in the wind, and starts taking out Cody Rhodes. Hits a beautiful moonsault on him. Then delivers a splash on the outside onto a table, the announce table. I would hope he's selling that knee, because it looked like he legitimately hurt himself, which would suck ass if he got injured after just winning the tag titles on SmackDown. That would have been fucking stupid. But there is that. So then we see some other stuff happen here. So Solo, I guess, tries to go for the running hip attack into the corner with Cody against the steel steps. Cody moves out of the way, hits a super Cody cutter from the top rope. And they're both out. Then out comes Roman Reigns, who makes his very much anticipated, but also very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Obvious return here. He slides into the ring, immediately lands a super punch on Solo Sikoa. The crowd cheers him, does the ooh-ah with him, hits a spear, leaves the ring, stares at Cody Rhodes, while Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads for the win. And after the match, they both are looking at each other here. Reigns points out that the OTC on his shirt, which stands for Original Tribal Chief, and Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns is back, and Solo Sikoa is crying like a bitch. So he cried like a little bitch is what he did. So there is that. But Raw, not Raw. SummerSlam overall, I thought was an enjoyable show. I was entertained. That's all I could ask for. A lot of people told me about the interferences. I didn't even notice about the interference. Like, listen, if they didn't bother me as much as everybody else said, then it's a you problem. It didn't bother me as much as it did on the last AEW pay-per-view. I'm just saying. But yeah, other than that, SummerSlam, I thought it was an enjoyable show. Other things, news-wise, I want to get into, I guess. Everybody's thinking that Becky Lynch is retiring because she put on her I almost said her Twitter, her Instagram, which I don't think is like like anything's happening here. But let's see if we can put this out here. Let's see if we can find it here. Give me a second. Fightful. Go here. Fightful. Oh, so she put out her on here, says, "It's been a hell of a career for being the man for all of you. Was an honor. being the mom of her daughter is a privilege. Thanks for watching my bio on A&E. I will be watching her bio after this thing is over with. I will be watching that. But yeah, so there's that. We also have some stuff when it comes to Julia. Julia again is on her farewell tour for Marty Gold in Japan. She could be showing up in NXT any time in the next couple of weeks, possibly facing Roxanne Perez at NXT Takeover, NXT No Mercy. So there's that. What's coming up on SmackDown, on Raw this week? We have the 6-man tag match, the in-ring debut for the Wyatt Six, which they're probably going to main event the show. They should absolutely main event the show since it's their debut as a faction wrestling on the show. It's going to be Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Lumis taking on Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. That's going to be happening. We also have Dakota Kai taking on Sonya Deville. What's next for the new world champion Gunther? What's next for Sami Zayn, obviously? What's next for the Judgment Day? We'll find all of that out on Raw tomorrow. I'll be back with the Pile Driver Pulse next Sunday. We'll talk about some other stuff on there and much, much more. So, yeah. Until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you back here for Raw. We're out.